Hello everyone. We are finishing learning period 1 and I wanted to send a little tutorial to make sure everybody knew how to do their activity logs online. These are very important. We use them for attendance and we use them to give credit for PE as well. And in some cases, students use these to keep track of their music practice and their music lessons. So I'm starting here from the student portal on the JCS website, and I'm logged in now as a student using the student username and the student password. So keep in mind there's a parent portal, a student portal, and then there's a staff portal. So this is the student portal, and it's wonderful when the students do these. Parents, they can do them themselves in many cases. Maybe your first and second graders shouldn't be, but your middle school and your high school kids should do these themselves. So from this menu on the student portal, you're going to choose activity log. And the only fancy thing we use on this fancy page is the activity logs. Everything else looks good, but we use Canvas for the rest of this. So what we want to pay attention to here are these 3 drop-down menus. The school year is always set. The type of log matters. This, you'll see, I'm going to show you a grid log, and then I'm going to show you another type of log. And then usually the report title will change when you change the grid type. The other thing you need to pay attention to is when you log in, it's always going to show you the learning period that you're living in. So today is September 11th, which is the last day of learning period 1. So we'll take a look at that one because this student has already done his. And what he did for his attendance log was he went through and he put check marks near the classes that are listed on his own attendance log to show what he worked on that day. And then he clicked Save Changes, and now I can see this from my view. Okay, he's already finished his, but let's take a look at a blank one. So we're going to turn that one off and turn this one on. So whichever one is highlighted in blue, you'll see. And if you have more than one highlighted in blue, you'll see them all at once. So let's review learning period 2, which is basically blank. So I started this demo a few minutes ago. So what I'm going to do is put a check mark next to any class that I worked on that day. Okay, and when I am finished doing that, to show my attendance and my work for the day, I'm going to click on, notice how there's this red warning if you don't save this. So you know if you've seen this, you haven't saved yet. Save changes and you'll get a green message saying that it has been saved. When you do this, I can see it from my end and I can submit these to the state of California. So this is important. This particular one is extremely important, done exactly on the last day of the learning period. Now, before we meet to talk about the learning period, the other learning log that's important, and we go back to learning period 1, is your PE log. So this is a write-in log. It's not a grid. And notice that the report title will change. So we want to say review log, and then the log appears here. Now it's important with PE that we record the number of minutes that we do. And I just did this one as an example for him, and I'll do an example for you here too. Maybe we did a fitness video for PE, and maybe we concentrated on aerobics. And this one, notice the ultimate frisbee was 1 hour and 30 minutes, but maybe this particular activity was not a full hour, maybe it was 40 minutes. So we'll put 0 hours and 40 minutes. Okay, and then maybe this time we did weightlifting. Okay, and our skill here was building muscle. And so maybe we did that for 0 hours and 45 minutes. Okay, and the reason I'm putting in all of the minutes is because I want to show you that down here at the bottom of the log, it's totaling up our minutes. And the reason that matters, I'm just going to type this here. The reason that matters is for every 10 days of school, a student from grades 1 through 6 has to show 200 minutes of PE. Okay, for every 10 days of school for 7th, 8th, and high school, we need to show 400 minutes of PE. So that total really matters. So if you do PE every day, we're talking about 20 minutes for grades 1 through 6, and for 7 through high school, we're talking about 40 minutes. If you do 40 minutes one day and an hour and 20 minutes another day, we're still going to end up with the number of minutes that we need. Okay, and I'm going to delete this because he doesn't need to see this on his thing, and this is not the PE that he did. Okay, but you would also click Save Changes. And in this case, I did make a change, and so I have to type in confirm to continue, and then it tells me that I've changed. So if you're just obedient to the pop-up menus, you'll be fine. Okay, there's one other type of log here, and those of you doing music for a high school elective, or who are doing music for your VAPA in the K through 8 program, choose Write in Music. Notice the title has changed. Review the log. And then this one, I have an example typed in here already. There are no minutes to keep track of, but this student practices on Wednesdays. He performs on Thursdays. I happen to know that his lessons always take place on Monday, so he writes drum lesson with tutor, and the skill was time signatures, and then another practice session. And so if you do music and you fill out a log like this, then I also appreciate connected to this log a piece of the music that you're working on, or sometimes rhythms are written out in a written form. That is a nice thing to add to this. And you and I can talk individually about that if we need to. Okay, so 3 types of logs here that we do. The grid log shows what you've been assigned, and that one's very important for the state of California for us to claim your attendance. Your PE log does require the minutes, and it will add up those minutes for you. And then the music log is optional, and it's right there. If you want to use the type of log that's a music log and do something else, you can change the report title over here. So say you're a teacher's assistant, you just want the write-in type of log, review, and then it'll show that you have a teacher's assistant log, it's this type, and then you just want to, I mean, it thinks it's the same type, but you could retype it and then save the changes. The other thing that you can do here is with any of these logs is you can click on print, and then it will download. You saw right there, it will download, and it's always called student attendance log. And if you click on it, you can see it as a PDF file, just like that. It looks just like what you wrote. Okay, so, and then you can upload that to your folder. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Feel free to email if you have any questions. I also have written instructions in your how-to folder. Okay, bye-bye.